Welcome to the deep dive where we unpack complex topics and, well, deliver those aha moments straight to your ears.
That's us.
Today we're venturing into the rainforests of Mexico, Belize, and Guatemala to get up close and personal with the Yucatán spider monkey.
A fascinating primate, for sure.
You want to know what makes this monkey so unique? The challenges they're up against and why their fate is so important to the entire ecosystem, that is.
It's all connected, you see.
We've got you covered. We're diving deep into an academic text, and
It's quite comprehensive.
yeah, it's like the Spider Monkey Encyclopedia.
That's one way to put it. They may not be as famous as, like, their South American cousins,
Right.
but these monkeys have carved out an incredible niche for themselves.
Okay, so let's paint a picture for our listeners. Imagine a monkey, but like stretch its arms and legs out super long like in a cartoon, and then give it a tail, but the tail is basically another arm, you know?
I like that. A tail that's another arm.
That's the Yucatán spider monkey, and they use those long limbs to navigate the rainforest canopy, just like it's their personal jungle gym.
Truly acrobatic. Those arms can be, get this, 16 to 24 inches long.
Wow.
And that tail, sometimes it's longer than their body, over 33 inches even.
Wow, so that's longer than my cat. And it's not just for show, right?
Definitely not.
I mean, I've seen videos, and they, like, use their tails like a fifth limb. It's amazing.
It really is incredible to watch. They use it for balance, grip branches, even to pluck fruit.
So it really is like having an extra hand, literally.
Literally.
Now, here's something that really surprised me when I was preparing for this.
What's that?
They don't have, like, fully developed thumbs.
You're right.
You'd think that would be a disadvantage, but turns out it's the opposite.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? That's the beauty of evolution. Their hands have evolved to grip branches perfectly, I might add, without thumbs. It's like they have these built-in climbing hooks.
So we've got these, like, long-limbed, hooked-handed monkeys swinging through the trees.
Gracefully.
With their super-powered tails.
Amazing.
What else makes them stand out? Visually, I mean, are they like, colorful?
Well, no, not really. They kind of blend into the shadows of the rainforest. Their fur is mostly black or dark brown, perfect camouflage.
I see.
But then they've got this lighter patch of fur right around their face, kind of like a mask. It's one way to tell the Yucatán subspecies apart from other spider monkeys.
So it's like their signature look, their rainforest fashion statement.
Exactly. And speaking of unique features, let's talk about their habitat.
Okay.
They're specialists, when it comes to where they like to hang out. You won't find them just anywhere.
Right. They're pretty much made for life in the trees. So they need a specific kind of forest.
They do. Their preferred habitat is the lowland rainforest, that dense, lush jungle, like what you see in documentaries.
Right.
But they're also found in drier, semi-deciduous forests, and even in mangrove forests, believe it or not.
Hold on, mangroves, really? Those coastal forests with all the tangled roots? I never would have pictured a spider monkey living there.
You'd be surprised. They're adaptable. But there is something they absolutely need: continuous tree cover. That network of branches is their lifeline.
That makes sense. They're like the ultimate tree dwellers, right?
Exactly.
So we've got these agile monkeys perfectly adapted to life above ground.
Graceful, agile.
In these amazing forest ecosystems. But what about their social lives? Are they loners?
Not quite.
Or do they roll in big packs?
It's more complicated than that. They live in these fascinating groups called fission fusion societies.
Fission fusion. Okay, I'm intrigued. Break that down for me.
So think about it like this. They live in groups of like 10 to 40 individuals, which is a pretty decent-sized party already.
Yeah.
But during the day, they'll split into smaller foraging parties, kind of like little search teams, looking for the best fruit trees. And they'll come back together to socialize and sleep.
Okay, so it's not just a free-for-all.
Nope.
They're organized, even when they're apart. But why do they do that? Is it just like a monkey preference, or is there an advantage to it?
Oh, there's a definite advantage. It helps them make the most of the available food, and it reduces competition within the group. You see, if everyone was searching together, they'd deplete the resources really quickly.
Right.
But by splitting up, they can cover more ground, and everyone gets a fair share.
That's pretty smart. It's like they figured out how to avoid those Black Friday shopping stampedes.
Exactly.
So if they're splitting up and coming back together, I imagine they need some impressive ways of keeping in touch.
You bet. And they are not the silent types.
Okay.
They use a variety of calls, barks, even these almost horse-like whinnies.
Wait, whinnies, like horses?
You heard that right.
Okay, that's something I need to hear. You're telling me there are monkeys out there sounding like tiny horses.
It's amazing. And they use these sounds to coordinate movements, warn each other of danger, and just stay in contact while they're foraging.
It's like they have their own rainforest communication network, like a monkey social media platform.
That's a good way to put it. And it's not just sounds. They use a lot of body language, facial expressions too. Full-blown conversations up there.
I can just picture them gossiping about which tree has the best mangoes.
Probably.
So all this moving around, communicating, it's got to take a lot of energy. What are these monkeys fueling their rainforest adventures with?
They're basically fruit connoisseurs.
Okay.
They mainly eat fruit, flowers, seeds, all the delicious rainforest treats.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Right?
I'd be happy munching on fruit all day if I lived in a rainforest.
It's a good life. And it's not just about the taste. The fruit provides them with essential nutrients and, importantly, water. It's crucial in those hot, humid environments.
Right, so it's like their own built-in hydration station.
Exactly.
But what happens when the fruit buffet runs low? Do they, just go hungry?
They're more adaptable than you might think. They'll branch out,
Okay.
so to speak, and munch on leaves, nuts, even insects if they need to.
But they're not picky eaters if they don't have to be. But here's something I've always wondered about fruit-eating animals.
Shoot!
They eat the fruit, they swallow the seeds, and then what? Do they just poop out a bunch of seeds wherever they go?
That's actually where the Yucatán spider monkey becomes a crucial player in the rainforest ecosystem.
How so?
Well, they're basically accidental gardeners. As they move through the forest, they're spreading seeds, far and wide.
So they're like John and Appleseed, but for the rainforest.
Precisely. And this is vital for the rainforest's health. It helps forests regenerate, maintain their biodiversity, stay vibrant.
Wow. So they're not just cute and acrobatic. They're like ecological superheroes. They're keeping the whole forest alive.
They
But unfortunately, like a lot of superheroes, they're facing some pretty big challenges.
That's the truth.
We know that the Yucatán spider monkey is endangered.
Hey.
But I'm curious to know, the specifics. What are the biggest threats they're facing?
Well, it's not just one thing. It's a whole bunch of problems all at once.
Oh, boy.
First, you've got habitat destruction. Their rainforest home is literally shrinking.
Right.
As forests are cleared, for agriculture, logging, all that, it fragments their world.
So it's not just the size of the forest, but how connected it is.
Exactly. These monkeys need that continuous canopy to move around, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
So when forests get fragmented, well, they get trapped in these little islands of trees.
And that limits, though, access to food.
Food, mates, everything. It's like they're living in a rainforest that's slowly being turned into a maze,
With fewer paths to take.
Exactly. And then you got the illegal hunting and the pet trade. There are laws, sure, but
Right.
these monkeys are still targeted, either sold as exotic pets or sometimes hunted for food even.
It just makes me so angry that people would, rip these intelligent creatures from their homes.
I hear you. It's a serious problem. Made worse by the fact that their reproduction rate is naturally slow.
Oh, right.
Females only give birth every 2 to 4 years. Makes it much harder for their population to recover from these threats.
It's like they're trying to run a marathon with weights strapped to their ankles.
Good analogy. And, well, habitat loss, hunting, those aren't the only villains in this story.
We also have climate change, right?
Right. Climate change is like the wild card. It's shaking things up in unpredictable ways. More droughts, for one thing, which stresses the trees and reduces fruit availability.
So less food, and what food there is less nutritious.
Exactly. And then on the other hand, some areas are getting way more rain, leading to flooding, which, can also damage the plants and disrupt their habitat.
So it's like the rainforest is playing a game of environmental roulette.
And the spider monkeys are stuck dealing with the consequences. But here's the thing. There's hope.
Okay, good. I need some optimism right now. What kind of hope?
People are working hard to protect these amazing monkeys.
What are they doing? Give me some strategies.
Well, habitat protection is huge, like giving them a safe space, Protected areas, national parks, that creates places where they can thrive without the constant threat of deforestation.
Drawing a line in the sand, basically. Saying this forest is off limits.
Exactly. And it's not just about protecting what's left. It's also about restoring what's been lost. Reforestation projects, those are crucial for connecting fragmented forests. Creates corridors for the monkeys to move more freely.
Like rebuilding those bridges in the rainforest maze we were talking about.
Yes. And then there's the fight against poaching, enforcing laws, having rangers on the ground to, patrol protected area.
Like create a rainforest police force dedicated to protecting these animals.
Haha, exactly. But it's not just about enforcement. It's also about changing attitudes, raising awareness. The more people understand about the plight of these monkeys, well, the more likely they are to change their behavior.
So it's a two-pronged approach. Stop the poaching and also like work on the cultural norms that drive it.
Right, and education plays a big role in that. Teach people about the ecological importance of the monkeys, the seed dispersal, the overall health of the rainforest.
If people understand that connection, that the monkey's fate is connected to the rainforest, say.
They're more likely to care.
Yeah, and what about ecotourism?
Ecotourism, when done right, can be a win-win.
For both the local communities and the monkeys.
Exactly. Provides economic incentives to protect the rainforest rather than exploit it. And it also it gives people a chance to experience the wonder of these animals,
To see them in their natural habitat.
which fosters, appreciation and respect. It's like the saying, we protect what we love.
Right, so more people see these monkeys up close. They understand why they're worth fighting for.
That's the hope. And all these efforts, they're being led by, dedicated organizations and national parks across Mexico, Belize, Guatemala. They're on the front lines of this battle for the spider monkey's future.
That's inspiring to hear, but I gotta admit, with all these challenges, I'm still a little worried about their future.
I understand.
What makes you hopeful that the Yucatán spider monkey can actually pull through this?
Well, nature is incredibly resilient. We've seen species bounce back from, almost extinction before.
Yeah.
And the spider monkey, they have a few things going for them, a few advantages.
Like what? What are their superpowers in this fight for survival?
Well, they're adaptable. For one, they've managed to survive in like a variety of forest types.
Oh,
Lush rainforests, drier forests, even those seasonal forests.
so that adaptability gives them an edge.
In a changing world, it does. It's like they've got a built-in survival kit,
They know how to make the most of whatever environment they're in.
Exactly. And they're smart. They're incredibly intelligent animals, good at problem solving, learning from experience.
So brain power too, not just physical strength.
You got it. And, well, people are starting to pay attention.
That's good.
The more we learn about them, the more we realize how special they are. And that's, well, it's driving more support for conservation efforts. It's like that saying, we can't protect what we don't know.
Right, right.
And there's this fascinating new tool that's being used to help protect them, genetics.
Genetics.
Researchers are studying their DNA, looking at the genetic makeup of different populations.
So CSI for monkeys.
Aha, something like that. They're trying to understand their diversity, their resilience. By understanding their genetics, well, we get a better sense of the population's health, its ability to adapt to changes.
It's like looking at their instruction manual for survival.
Exactly. And this helps conservationists, prioritize their efforts. They can focus on protecting the areas with the highest genetic diversity, which gives the species the best chance of survival.
Like playing genetic matchmaker, making sure the monkeys have the best possible gene pool.
Love that analogy. And it reminds us that conservation, it's not just about land. It's about protecting the genetic diversity that makes life so resilient.
It's like we're learning to speak the language of life itself.
Now, that's powerful. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about their intelligence.
Love to. What have researchers discovered about their cognitive abilities? Are they like solving math problems up there in the canopy?
Haha, maybe not equations, but they're definitely smart. One of their standout skills is spatial memory.
Okay.
They're amazing at remembering locations, like, where their favorite fruit trees are.
That's got to be a sentinel in a rainforest, right? So much to keep track of.
It is. It's like they have a mental GPS. And they can plan their foraging routes in advance. They assess the availability of food and, well, they choose the most efficient path to get what they need.
So they're not just like wandering around aimlessly,
Nope, they're strategic.
running their own rainforest logistics company.
Haha, I like that. And their intelligence goes beyond just spatial awareness. They're really good at solving problems.
Give me an example. Like what kind of problems?
Researchers have given them puzzles, like figuring out how to open a container to get to a treat. And the monkeys, they show remarkable ingenuity. They'll use tools, try different things, even learn from their mistakes.
So it's not just instinct. It's about thinking things through, adapting.
Exactly. Suggests this level of